Alrighty. Alrighty. Welcome everybody to the Makin StarCraft 2 Invitational 1. And I'm so excited to bring to you today DukeSilver versus Salsaman.
This is going to be a good matchup.
DukeSilver is from the middle of nowhere, Utah, and Salsaman is from the middle of the known-where place called Santa Quinn.
All right.
Go ahead and do the intros, Garrett.
So, spawning here in the top left corner, we have our friend DukeSilver. Playing with the orange SCVs in the bottom right, we have Salsaman. Both of them getting a nice early start on their supply depots, putting them in some nice spots to get some vision there in their bases. And we're starting some unit production as well.
We almost need to turn off the things on the chat there so we can actually see what's happening.
Yeah.
This is the first game of the tournament that was played by these two players. So if you notice right now, this was the first game. DukeSilver going for an extra barracks on the off the bat, which is interesting. Interesting build order. Not something the pros would use, but for all intents and purposes, can work. So going off both of these people and just what I know about them, I know Tyler has played this for fun. Sam is more of a MOBA guy, league guy, so he's more used to doing one unit, and of course, it's a little bit more difficult to 200. So yeah, I guess we'll see. Maybe the experience of doing the MOBA and playing a little bit more StarCraft will help, or we'll see, right?
Yep, I guess we'll find out. Looks like Salsaman right now has just finished his engineering bay. His barracks is training up 2 Marines right now, and he's getting a start on his factory. On the other side of the map, yep, we've got double barracks coming up. We have our refinery finally coming up. We have 5 Marines queued up.
Ooh. And he's got lots of minerals in the bank.
Lots of minerals, and he's got plenty of supply depots. I don't think he's going to hit a supply block anytime soon.
Definitely not. For those of you watching, you very few fortunate souls, these are not builds. Like, if you're going to try and play online, this right here, yeah, no, don't do that as turn. This one, a little bit better. I guess in TVT, it's not super necessary to put a wall. I mean, I guess DukeSilver is trying to go for a wall the hard way.
It's the Great Wall.
It's the Great Wall. Because, like, run-bys aren't necessarily a thing, except when there's a few Hellions. So
yeah, most of the time what happens with Terran is they can just fly into your base anyways with medevacs, so walls aren't the biggest priority, I guess.
I mean, regardless,
overall,
I would say that you need them.
oh, for sure. Like, anytime you can make a choke point and stuff, it helps. It definitely helps.
So it looks like we got Salsaman coming for an attack with 4 Marines and a Hellion.
Looking to get a little early game damage in maybe, and he is planting down his second command center and a starport right now. So I actually kind of like this build for Salsaman. It's not terrible, honestly.
No, not terrible. And he is getting his second command center, which DukeSilver is not. And
yeah, expanding is a really important thing to do in any matchup, really. But the more resources you have, the more stuff you can make.
Until recently, Protoss was only a 1 expansion PvP, But now, since they have better shield batteries, and they have that battery overcharge, it makes it a lot easier. Look at this soft contain, though. He has kept him in his base. And we got 3 barracks going with 15 Marines queued.
Well, honestly, I don't know. I don't think that DukeSilver is... Well, he just saw the Hellions now, because the Hellions just sniped that SCV. But he's got a bunker going down now in the main base on the other side of his supply depot wall. Got 3 barracks production going with Marines. So I actually really like the number of Marines that DukeSilver's got. That's a lot of potential damage. But one thing that you definitely want to do, if you've got this many barracks, is you want to get a tech lab on there and research the Marine upgrades, because they really help out and make a big difference.
Do either of them have upgrades?
Currently, no. There are no upgrades. Salsaman does have an engineering bay, and he is just about to finish level 1 armor.
That's good, but yeah, there's no... Oh, did I pause it?
Yeah.
My bad.
It got paused.
There's no tech lab. Ooh, what a mistake.
Oh, I think he just targeted down... Was that his own SCV? I think that might have been his own SCV, actually. Let's check the unit's last tab here. No, that might have been Salsaman's SCV that he brought along for repairs. But it died a gruesome death at the hands of Jimmy and the crew.
Jimmy! Well, here comes... I've never seen this in a TVT before. They are doing a really good soft contain, though. Let's see if they can kill that. Yeah, there goes 400 minerals. Well, worth it.
Those 3 Hellions, I think 3 Hellions are one-shotting those SCVs, so that's actually not a terrible number to have, if you're trying to soft contain. I wish you had a few more Marines, but keep in mind, these Marines that Salsaman has, they have +1 armor, and they're getting +1 weapon upgrades right now. So, may not sound like much, but even, especially with Marines, you get a lot of benefit from +1 upgrades.
That's true.
Your attack goes from 5 to 6, so that's a 20% increase.
So Garrett, here's the question for you. If somebody scans into your base, especially not at the entrance, do you get suspicious that something's coming that way?
I usually do. Yeah, I mean, especially... It depends. I mean, in Terran versus Terran, yes. Although, a lot of times in Terran versus Terran, scans are used to get vision for siege tanks and stuff, so...
Well, I don't see any siege tanks, and that would be such a giveaway that if they're scanning, especially... Ooh, did you see that? They just got the Banshee. But, if he scans in the top corner of your base, that for me is an instant red flag where you go, uh-oh, something's coming that way. Looks like Salsaman got the fusion core and is right now building a battlecruiser.
Ooh, there you go. So it looks like here in about, I don't know, another minute or so, we're going to have that battlecruiser pop out and head to the other side of the map. I guess we'll see if DukeSilver's Marines are in position.
They're not.
If the battlecruiser just walks straight across the map, or flies straight across the map and runs into the Marines, then that's kind of a bad day for the battlecruiser, but... Oh, man.
Yeah,
I think he just lost his entire mineral line to 4 Reapers.
Yep, he did. Oh, yeah, they might come this way. You might get them.
Okay, at this point, DukeSilver has 2 workers, and I think that's essentially game. At this point, you just can't really recover from that.
Well, especially with a BC on the way, and yeah, he's just got so much more. At this point, this is right when you GG out and you go, okay, gonna do better the next game.
Exactly. Yeah, there are 2 workers now. One of them's building the command center on the low ground. One of them's gathering minerals. DukeSilver has a little bit of a bank, but not a huge one. Yeah, at this point, Salsaman's just going to get much farther ahead. He's taking in 1,200 minerals a minute versus DukeSilver's 130 minerals a minute. It's a big difference.
That's a large difference. But, I mean, now he has 4 workers, so... Yay.
Hey, he's getting up there.
Yeah.
But let's see, that battle cruiser's out. We've got 3 Hellions, a couple Marauders, some Marines, some Reapers. Like, I even like this offensive sensor tower here. Like, that's not a bad addition, honestly. It saves on your scans to see where enemies are.
Well, look at that. That's such a flex, flying your battle cruiser in.
Yeah, he just tactical jumped right behind those guys. And sure, like, the battle cruiser lost half its health, but it's doing good. Our boy, the battle cruiser, now has 11 kills. These Hellions, they're like hero Hellions. Or I guess there's only one left alive, but it has 2 kills, I guess. But those Hellions, they got some work done. Oh, those Marines were on move command there. They just walked right into the meat grinder.
Well, this is definitely GG. Look at that. He's building another sensory tower. And there you go.
And that's game.
Salsaman 1-0. Alright. So, Salsaman taking game number 1.
Let's move into game number 2.
This is going to be on Submarine LE, the shortest map we have in the map pool right now.
It's a pretty small map. I know a lot of the pros don't like it because
It's just
the rush distance is so short.
Yeah, indeed.
I'm going to go out on a limb, though, and say we're not going to see anything too crazy in the early game here.
What? Alrighty. In the top left corner, we have none other than the man, Salsaman.
Down in the bottom right, we have our friend DukeSilver. Once again, playing with orange SCVs.
And Salsaman on the green. No better salsa than the green salsa, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What's he gonna do with this guy? Oh, I should have known.
Okay, so we're actually getting a wall on top of the ramp here for DukeSilver. That first supply depot, that's in just the right spot. Most people will put their barracks here as a follow-up.
Again, like we talked about last game, wall not as important in this one, but I would say it's still pretty good. This is usually only done when you proxy barracks, and as you can see, it's not a proxy, it's in his base, so there goes that idea. Why does Salsaman go for such an early engineering bay? Like, is he just flexing hardcore on DukeSilver right now, going, hey, I'm going to have higher upgrades than you, and it's going to be at the minute 30 mark that I do it? Like, wow. That's all I got to say.
I don't know. I'd say it's probably just... It's nice to have those buildings so you don't have to get them later. You know, when you actually want to start your upgrades.
That's
kind of nice to just have it sitting around so that you can start your upgrades whenever you please.
And I guess when you're not a professional, like, it makes sense just to do it earlier, because it's not like it's going to affect your build order that much.
I mean, it's just 125 minerals. It's not a huge investment.
Ooh. Salsaman going for 2 factories.
It looks like he's going to be going into some mech, probably. I'm going to guess siege tanks.
Well,
we'll
I guess...
see when we see those siege tanks up on the production tab.
Well, we need to... He's just going straight Hellions, man.
Oh, well, I guess Hellions were the heroes last time, so that's not too surprising.
Alright, here's the thing, though. If you're going to build the engineering bay, like I guess he's going mech. It looks like, but if you're gonna build the engineering bay, you really do need to actually like use it immediately. You know, because then
Hmm.
that could have just been minerals that you put into another building, another barracks, the command center, your expansion, which Salsaman finally is getting. So that's nice.
I mean, the best reason to get an engineering bay if you're not going for upgrades is if you want a planetary fortress or if you're going to build turrets.
That's true.
Okay. So, and actually, I think the sensor tower is unlocked by the engineering bay as well.
Very
And I
important.
see Salsaman already has a sensor tower up. I like that sensor tower positioning actually. Like covers all of the first three bases here and that big entryway.
I
So he'll be able to tell what's up pretty quick.
I agree. I actually like it too, especially if you were playing somebody who can medevac drop. Which,
Hmm.
ooh man, if Loco ever watched this, look at that planetary. But yeah, I agree. If he ever had drops coming in, he would know pretty immediately that there was something coming if he was paying attention to his mini map.
Yeah, it does cover like all of the drop paths here. The only place I guess he could drop the bottom of the natural pretty quick and probably get away with it, but I mean, at this point, I don't think we're gonna see any drop play just because nobody has a starport, and you haven't seen any medevacs in the last game. I'm pretty sure we're not gonna see any now.
I have to agree 100%. You
I do
can't.
like that he has a planetary fortress in the main, though. I
I.
mean, most of the time you go for orbitals, but I mean, he has an orbital in his natural.
Yeah. I think that's a
I'd
little backwards.
Yeah, I'd say the orbital in the main makes more sense, and then the planetary in the natural. But I mean, it's fine. These guys are having a good time.
Indeed. Ooh, tank.
The Cyclone that just came out. The Cyclones are pretty good. And the tank, or no, let's see. Oh, the tank's on the other side of the map. So DukeSilver is going for tanks here.
Yeah, and it looks like he is
Oh
going for
my
a mech
word.
army. Salsaman is. He's got 4 Hellions and oh gosh, a Cyclone.
Hmm.
So that's a pretty good counter. 2 tanks on the other side for DukeSilver.
Yeah, the Cyclones are really good if there's just like one or two tanks, but start getting more tanks, and those tanks are just gonna tear the Cyclones up. So,
That's true.
oh, we got a little hit squad. DukeSilver's sending them over to hide behind the rocks over here.
I never
Oh, no,
realized on
they're
this
heading
map
back home.
that this is such a sheltered third.
It
Like
really is. It's a nice little third base.
Salsaman has
Okay.
put an offensive tower. Look at that. Right.
Yeah, he's keeping track of all of the map movement here. If he puts another sensor tower down closer to his opponent's third, like he'd know pretty much all of the opponent's movement.
Yeah, it's true. The nice thing, though, is since DukeSilver does have those tanks, he is pretty safe. I'm pretty sure that Salsaman isn't, amazing at the lock-on with the Cyclones. So,
I mean, I don't think anybody is unless you're like a pro. So,
yeah, fair point. That's why this style, this mech, this what do they call it? Speed mech?
battle mech.
Battle mech. The battle
Hmm.
mech style is really hard to play, and it really it was there for about 3 or 4 months before it fell out of style. Just because unless you're a TY, unless you're a freaking Innovation or Maru, it's really hard to control, and you just end up losing your units. Like when I play it, they're all just gone.
Okay, we have the Reaper hit squad sitting over here. I think Salsaman wants to go for what he did last time, where he had simultaneously like a little push out front, and then the Reapers come in and they just shred the mineral line. And that's what we're seeing.
Oh no
The
no no!
Reapers are
Oh
just going
no!
ham.
Oh no!
Here comes Jimmy and the crew coming to take care of the Reapers.
And the tanks.
But he unsieged the tanks. Oh, unsieging the tanks, that was a big mistake.
Large mistake.
Now, he's got the front door wide open. Those Hellions are just going to come in and roast everything. Tanks are going to try and get some work done here, but he doesn't siege them. And those Cyclones are just going to eat the tanks for breakfast, pretty much. Thor is here to join in as well.
But with the Hellions running out, he does seem like he's turning around. That's game. GG.
Yep, I believe that is game. We got Big Daddy Thor in the mix here, and I mean they're crazy good units. I mean I hate Thors because I play Zerg most of the time, so it can be frustrating to play against them. I mean, they're just really good units.
They are. The problem is they take up a lot of supply, and like their micro potential really isn't that good. But for like little people like you and me, that's not an issue because we can't micro anyways.
This is true. Okay, we got Thor still chilling. He's gonna get taken out by the SCVs here. But it is a sacrifice that he's willing to make because I'm pretty sure that Hellion just got 6 SCV kills. So.
Oh, what a pain. And it's 36 workers to 7, 24 army supply to 8. Like, I guess it just comes to the territory of knowing when you've lost.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, I really don't see a way for DukeSilver to come back into the game.
Well, especially since he's going for Cyclone Marine, but he has no reactor. He doesn't have any upgrades for his Marines. I mean, neither of them do. It looks like Salsaman did end up getting a starport, and he's making a Banshee, but no cloak.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like at this point, actually DukeSilver has 1-1 finished.
Oh, does he?
That's interesting, yeah. And then, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like Salsaman has level 1 armor for his vehicles, so he must have an armory chilling somewhere. Yeah, he's got vehicle weapons researching right now, so.
Cool.
I mean, he's also got a battlecruiser on the way, so.
You got mech. You might
just as well get a battlecruiser, right?
And look, here comes his Reaper Man. If I have to say anything about Salsaman, the best thing that he did this game was the misdirection. He sends in 6 Reapers, which usually you just don't have, and DukeSilver wasn't expecting it, so he sends in the Reapers, gets the tanks to disengage and move back, destroys all the SCVs. I mean, he loses his army, so I mean, there's something to work on there. But at the end of the day, like, that misdirection is the thing that will win him this game, even though DukeSilver is trying his best.
Yeah. I think the fatal mistake here was just unsieging the tanks there.
Since he doesn't really have a whole lot of vision, now would be the time to go get those Cyclone lock-ons. Because, I mean, if you have the Cyclones, you might as well try and lock on and go get them. Especially those Thors, you just micro them just a little bit, and you got those Thors bright as day. Look at the minerals and the gas that they're both floating, though. They really don't have enough production on either side. I mean, Salsaman has 4 buildings. I think DukeSilver has 2. Like, at this point in the game, we're at the 12-minute mark. You should be at least at 3 bases. You'd hope maybe 4. Salsaman's got 3. Yeah, and you really need at least, like, if you're going mech, like, you probably want 4 or 5 factories, or if you're going for Marine, Marauder, you know, the M's build, you want, like, 9 at this point, so you can get those minerals out of your bank and into units that can actually help you win the game.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with you there. I mean, a lot of times, you know, you have that many minerals, it's not a bad idea just to plant down a few extra structures.
Well, even if you have like 3 orbitals and you're not mining from them, like you have scans, and scans are the thing that save you. Like, if he would have known these units were here, he wouldn't have lost his army just now. Oh, here comes the flex. I got BCs, suck it.
Yep, those BCs are just eating everything for breakfast. We got Thors, we got BCs. That's game.
GG, everybody.
Okay, so Salsaman takes the first win of the series.
Alrighty, so that was Salsaman versus DukeSilver. 2-0 for Salsaman, so he moves on to the winner's match. We're getting into the second series of the Makin StarCraft Invitational 1 with Overlord versus Makinator, Nathan versus Matt.
We're playing on an interesting map here. We got Jagannatha LE.
And in the top right corner, we have none other than Overlord playing in the blue Terran SEVs.
Here in the bottom left with the pink Protoss probes, we have none other than Makinator.
You know, I'm not going to lie to you, Garrett. I think I'm going to put the fast forward button on.
I think that's not a bad idea. And I know that this is a long match, and there are some stretches where there's not a lot of action, so that's probably not a bad call.
Alright, how do I bring up the player? I have the...
Let's see.
Is it R? You might need to search it.
What command do you want?
I want to bring up the HUD so I can put on the fast forward.
Oh, it's Control-Shift-O.
There we go. Sorry everybody watching, especially you and Nate and Matt, but really though, your game is too long. Alright, so Matt going for all of his gases, Nate going for his wall in the back. Just want to make sure that nobody comes in from the sea, getting his barracks out. Matt going for his third base already.
Okay, we got double refinery over here on Overlord's side of the map. I mean, I think this is a common theme in Makinator's games throughout the tournament. He always takes his bases in non-conventional spots.
Hey,
I think it's a mind game to throw off the opponent.
If you're gonna play, and you play against people who do play, they're not gonna look for your second base in the fourth base spot, you know?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I certainly wouldn't.
The only problem comes, and you know this, that if you put your base not next to where your other bases are, if you need to reinforce it, I guess Protoss you can do it, but I'm guarantee Makinator doesn't know because he doesn't play this game that much. Like, look at all these probes.
Yeah, the probes, they just be chilling. They're having a great time on vacation.
Indeed, they're just in the Bahamas. But what I was saying is, like, that, yeah, it won't throw him off. He doesn't quite know. He doesn't know how to recall. So, like, for him to go into another base, as long as it's not found, it's a good move. But I do have to say, for both of these players, they did improve drastically as the games went on. So, they did a good job.
For sure, and I think that's a common theme with all the players. You know, the first round of the tournament here, it was definitely a little rocky, but the further into the tournament we got, the more comfortable people got with, you know, making the buildings in the correct order and stuff. And I think we saw some better games.
I agree. So these first ones, sorry everybody for that's watching, these might be a little painful, but they will get a little bit better. Not that much, but a little bit.
And to everyone who played these games that's watching, we're not trying to roast you too hard, because we're going to roast ourselves when we play too, so.
And just for we're going to be roasting ourselves because we did play each other. So
yes.
That will be happening, and we will not hold back on ourselves.
Or on each other.
Oh, definitely not.
Luckily for me, so Jake played Zerg. I am a Zerg player, so I will be sure to flame him for everything that he did wrong.
Yeah, and unfortunately he played Protoss, and I'm a Terran player, so like I can't complain as much. I can complain about Nate right now, like he blocked himself in. So I mean, if he's going to go for a flying army, great idea. You gotta Here, let's zoom in right here. Let's zoom in. Look at the. Oh, he did it! He got it out. Good job. He got a little SCV stuck.
I
Wow.
really like his bunker wall there. I mean, there's nothing getting into his base at this point.
Not yet. And I think that might be the reason that this game went on for so long. I was actually surprised that a lot of the games that were played besides this one went really quick. I think that
Mm-hmm.
people figured as they went on through the tournament that cheesing or doing quick builds was the name of the game. At least that was my
Oh, for sure.
experience when I was playing Zerg, going, hey, Ling flooding is a great idea, I should do that.
And that is exactly what you did. Every time.
OP, Zerg is OP.
And just in case we haven't noticed yet, we have, in fact, double sensor tower. Triple sensor tower, even.
Yeah.
We have an excellent example of a Venn diagram displayed here on the minimap.
let's assign each value, okay? So we got the right circle. What should it be, Garrett?
Oh, I don't even know. Oh, what's this? We've got a hit squad coming across the map here. We got a bunch of stalkers, we got a void ray, and we've got an adept. And they just walked right into the bunker wall, unfortunately. I'm actually kind of surprised they got that bunker.
Dude, those stalkers that are not blink, they're pretty good. However, I mean, Overlord did get upgrades. He's gotten 1-1. And he's getting...
That's true.
Oh my gosh, is this the building armor one, or is this the auto tracking? This is the auto
I
tracking
think,
one.
yeah, that's planetary fortress range. But he actually does have a planetary fortress in the main, so
He's
not a useless upgrade.
he's like Japan right now in World War II. Like after
He's-
they got their butts thumped at Midway.
Yeah, he's just kind of hunkered down, building lots of Marines, Marauders. Man, I actually really like his army composition. The only thing that's missing is medevacs.
Need a starport to get those. But yeah, look at
Oh,
those.
dear.
Me Marauder Reaper, like not a bad stat. In fact, if he went across the map right now, he'd win. Like that would just
Mhm.
absolutely demolish these 5 void rays.
For sure. Have you noticed it looks like he's getting the enhanced shockwaves upgrade there at the Ghost Academy?
Does he have any
Um,
ghosts? That's the question.
He has one ghost.
He has 2
Or no, he has
ghosts.
2 ghosts, yes. So that could be useful. I mean, I don't know if he ends up using the spell, but that's a really good spell to use against Protoss. It strips shields and it strips energy from other units that do spells.
Indeed, that is basically when. So as a Terran, I can speak from personal experience. When you need to play against a Protoss, the way that you do it is you get your massive Marines, just enough, because if you get too many, then they just kind of die. Especially if any good Protoss they get their Storm, they get the not Stalkers. What's the tall ones?
Colossi.
Colossi, or they get Disruptor. The way that you deal with those units is you have to either get lots of Marauders with Liberators, or you get Ghosts with your Marine Marauder Medevac army. If they have Zealots, that's when you throw in a few mines as well. And honestly, once it gets to that point, and if the Protoss is good at control, that's when you really have a hard time in your life. Look at that, though. He's getting tanks. It's really good composition.
Yeah, definitely not bad.
But if you look over on the Protoss side, he does have the beginnings of the Protoss Death Ball.
He does. He has a bunch of Void Rays. He has carriers. He has actually quite a few Adepts, which, I mean, Adepts usually aren't a unit you see more in the big battles at the end of the game, but they don't do bad against Marines, especially in the beginning of the game. They do bonus damage against light units, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
which
that's correct.
Marines are light.
The only problem is, do you see a Templar archive anywhere? No.
No, I don't think so.
Not a Templar archive. I'm thinking of... Oh...
Twilight Council?
Yeah, the Twilight Council.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's not going to be able to get any upgrades for his, his gateway units.
Which is unfortunate, because especially like adepts with their glaives is a phenomenal composition. Even in the later game, you do just so well. Um, but if you were to get zealot with the zealot charge upgrade, basically you get fast zealots, you get zealot legs. That is when you can devastate an army, especially when they just have a few tanks and no mines and one medevac.
You know, I don't think his choice to not invest in that is bad, though, because he has all of the fleet beacon upgrades. So he has the carrier upgrade, or not carrier, the Tempest upgrade, the
But he has no
Void Ray
Tempest.
speed upgrade.
Oh yeah, look at those speedy boys.
Yeah, they're speedy right now. I mean, he's definitely got some destructive power in this army. So, of course, his ground forces just kind of get demolished by that Terran meat grinder. But in the meantime, those Void Rays have been going to town on his base, and he's now seriously supply blocked. The carriers are doing a lot of good work here. It's only the Thors that are shooting up now.
Yep.
And it looks like all the Thors, the Thors get wrecked. So at this point, there's nothing that shoots up
He should,
for the Terran.
if he activated prismatic alignment, it would definitely kill those marauders a little bit quicker.
This is true. Also, I think that battle would have gone a different way for our Terran player here if he had activated the ability the Thors have. I believe they have an ability called High Impact Payload or something along those lines, which basically does really big damage to air units. So that would have been really nice to gun down those carriers.
Yeah, I agree. I guess one more critique. Nathan did a pretty good job. He had a really good army. The problem comes especially when you go against carriers, where they do have those 8 interceptors coming out at once. So if you have 4 carriers, you have 36. Booyah, I did math on the stream. Booyah! You have 36 interceptors coming out, and the problem comes that your Marines, they focus on the interceptors. So instead, what you need to do is you need to click on each individual carrier, and once you destroy the carrier, it's Phantom Menace style, they all go away.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that definitely would have helped our Terran player out. But it looks like he's built 2 other bases on the other side of the map.
Yay.
He's trying to stay in this. He still has a healthy amount of workers, but at this point, there's really no way that he's going to come back into this that I can see, at least.
But no worries, Makinator does have like 15 idle SCVs.
Hey, there's those Tempests, and you see they got their Fireball upgrade. That does bonus damage to buildings, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Oh, Makinator found one base, but he's not aware of the ones on the left yet.
Well, I'm sure he'll find them, in the next 5 minutes or so. Okay, he's flying down. He's checking that base.
Alright.
He's thinking about it going down again. He's going to find this base, and my guess is it's not going to last very long at all.
Yeah, he has 8 supply, 7 supply.
But that's not stopping him from building a command center clear over on the other side of the map again. He's just abandoning this one command center here to its fate. It will be sacrificed, as well as the 2 SCVs just hanging out there. We now have 4 workers left, 1 incomplete command center, and I mean, this is definitely a good game type scenario, but it looks like our friend Overlord is going to hang on for another 3 minutes.
Yeah, and that's why we put it on the fast track.
Well, I did really like Overlord's build here. I mean, I liked that he had a lot of Marines and Marauders. I think it was a good composition. I just think that, he let the Protoss sit for too long and get Sky Toss.
Yeah, and honestly, like I said at the beginning, he had 80 army supply when Makinator had the version. So if he would have just moved across the map, it would have been, Bob's your uncle, he would have won. But That's the thing with
Definitely.
once you go with Protoss, once you get that death ball, you're really hard to stop.
It's true. You've got to be really good to stop the death ball. Or maybe not really good, maybe just better than me. It's just in a high bar to clear, so.
Yeah, me neither. I'm definitely part of the group of, oh, they have a death ball, I guess I'll die.
Yep, that's usually what happens to me.
Alright, starting in the bottom left corner, we have none other than Overlord.
And in the top right, we have Makinator.
Oh my goodness, what did I just do? Whoa!
Let's see, I think you might have hit Alt. Try clicking Alt.
That was fun. Alright. So, no buildings over here. And what does Alt do?
So if you have Alt and then you click, it signals, it flags. Alright, we have Overlord over here. He's attack moving all around his base. Or no, just moving all around his base. That SCV is getting his workout in for the day.
Makinator
Doing
has not
some-
built a single thing besides some a probe.
Yeah, Overlord has not either.
He built 2 refineries. Oh my gosh, I know what they're playing. They're playing Settlers of Catan.
Oh, I've actually never played Settlers of Catan. Do inform me.
You gather resources, and then once you have enough resources, you build a building. And you build some roads.
I see.
You really never played?
No, I haven't.
You live in the same apartment as Andrew Nybergall, and you've never played Settlers of Catan?
I have not played Settlers of Catan.
Wow. Cool. That's yep, that's all I can say.
Well, now we have 4 supply depots coming up in the back of Overlord's base.
I'm telling you,
I see Makinator is already expanding to a new location. You know, normally that would be a little bit of a risky move before building anything else, but hey, it turns out it's the perfect response to this build.
Yep.
Overlord just barely put down his first barracks. It's not going to finish for a little while yet.
But I mean,
So Makinator's going to be just fine. He's going to be able to macro up, get a lot of Vespene. He's got 5 probes in Vespene right now. And hey, yeah, he's getting those probes out. Getting a lot of work done.
he doesn't have a single pylon. That's intense. Never have I ever seen somebody not get a pylon in the first 3 and almost 4 minutes.
Hey, turns out, you know, Nexi, they give you more supply than pylons do, so.
I mean, that's meta. Oh, there we go. He just was like, man, what a waste of time getting pylons. Next are where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. So here, back on the Terran side of the map, I see we have 2 racks already finished, 3rd barracks on the way. We have 2 factories. One of them is currently producing a cyclone. It's got a tech lab on it. Getting a tech lab on the other factory here, going for an armory. Looks like he might want to have a little bit more of a mech focus this round, or maybe he just likes factories. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And he's it's a mech bio mess.
He's researching, I believe that's the cyclone upgrade. Gives their lock-on some more damage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's correct, yep. It allows you to lock on quicker, and it does, I don't think it does any more damage, but it does allow your lock-on to come back online quicker.
I see.
Matt.
And he has 3 upgrades queued up in the armory, so he's working on getting those mech upgrades.
Good for him. Over on the other side, on the Protoss, he is cannon rushing himself, getting some shield batteries.
Hey, you can never be too safe, right?
But you can have 2,000 extra gas.
You can have 2,000 extra gas. However, if you're planning to go sky toss, you're going to use that. So,
The thing is, I think he's gonna evolve, and so Matt, yep, there he is. He's gonna try and do the sky toss.
okay, we got one Stargate out.
But Overlord over here is already planning ahead. He's getting Vikings as we speak.
Yeah, he's thinking, hey, so I got really, screwed over by that sky toss last time. Why don't I build anti-air units this time? Now, where's the problem with this? My guess is that our friend Makinator is going to get Void Rays, which Void Rays do bonus damage against armored units when they've got their prismatic alignment on, and they do pretty good against Vikings when there's a lot of them. So
The painful truth.
Overlord experiencing a little bit of a painful supply block. Can't quite get his medevacs out. I don't know if he knows he's supply blocked. Oh, he just realized he's producing some supply depots now. He noticed the Cyclone's got its upgrade there. It's got its little lasers coming out of the missile pods or turrets or whatever.
Choo, 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 choo. That's
Man, if there's one reason that Makinator wins this, it's because he builds more bases and gets way more probes. I mean, sure, half of them aren't doing anything right now, but that's still better than Overlord, who only has 24 workers. Makinator has 48 workers, and even if half of them are working, he's still at least at the same amount of economy that Overlord is.
Look at those beautiful 5 probes.
Oh yes, they're chilling. They're just having a great time. I wish I was like those probes,
Beach vacation. Look at all those medevacs. This is the first game. No, it's not. But this is the first game that they went for a lot of medevacs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, medevacs are definitely good. I do like medevacs. The more medevacs you have, the more healing you have.
Now here's a question for you. If you had to choose, would you rather have 3 medevacs with very little energy or 1 medevac that was full of energy? And you had, 10 Marines.
Oh, I'd probably say the 3 medevacs with lower energy, just because they can heal you better in a push. It kind of depends on what you want to do with them, I guess. If you want them to tag along while you push in with an attack, I'd take the 3 medevacs, but if you just want 1 medevac to heal your units up at home, then just 1 with a lot of energy is fine.
So here's a better question. Would you rather have, 1 medevac per 8 Marines, or would you rather have 1 medevac per Marine?
Oh, well, in that case, definitely the 1 medevac per 8 Marines. The 3 Marines, that's a lot of damage output. So if you have to sacrifice 3 Marines in order to, have a medevac, that's not worth it.
Well, I think that Overlord disagrees with you, and I think that you should really have 13 medevacs per 54 Marines.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be how this goes. I'm waiting to see how this works out for him.
Look at all those Void Rays, all that stacked defense, all those Adepts. They're spread out too, so you attack one side, you get the whole enchilada because the other side's coming for you.
For sure. I mean, we've got, holy smokes, we've got Tempests, we've got Carriers on the way, we've got Void Rays, we've got a little bit of everything coming here.
Look at those beautifully placed shield batteries and cannons. Oh, here we go! Here we go!
Void Rays, they're coming in. They're coming in hot. And they just got wrecked by Marines.
That's how it goes. Here we go again. Here's the other half.
You know, the Void Rays do really good against pretty much everything except Marines in this case. Oh, there's a big mistake right there. Our boy Overlord has just loaded half of his army into the medevacs on accident.
How much you want to bet he loses them?
He probably is going to lose at least some of them here.
He's gonna lose all of them.
He's flown right into the photon cannons. Oh, he got pretty lucky there, actually.
Yeah, unless he keeps moving forward. I wonder if he's wondering, like, where did my army go?
Okay, he just lost one medevac full of Marines. He's got that one Thor just chilling on the bottom of the medevac there. Let's see if he can figure out how to unload them here. I don't think he knows.
I don't think he knows
I
either.
don't think he realizes that they are full of units.
So, basically what you're telling me is Overlord should win this game, but he'll probably lose it because half of his army is in his medevacs.
Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. Like, that push could have been really deadly. I mean, Makinator does have a lot of static defense here, but with all those medevacs, like, if he'd just taken a couple breaks while he was pushing and gone back and healed up all his Marines and then gone running back in, he probably would have been okay. But once he loaded half of his army up into the medevacs, you know, that's a lot of your damage taken out. And he's not going to unload them again, so he's going to have, you know, half of his supply actually inside the medevacs when he attacks. And all the while, Makinator's over here maxing out on Sky Toss. Like, he's gotten 3 carriers out in the time that Overlord is backed off. Make that 4 carriers. And yeah, pretty soon there's not going to be much that he can do against this.
You know, Overlord has done a really good job getting upgrades, but there is just one little problem with the upgrades he's chosen, and that is he's gone for mech upgrades, and he is building Marines.
Exactly. You don't get the kind of performance improvements you do with mech upgrades as you do with the infantry upgrades.
Especially when you have mech upgrades, but biologic people.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, those Hellions are going to be hella fine, though. Oh, we got an attack!
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
All of the medevacs over here on the left side kind of get taken for free. I'm just looking at this medevac with the Thor, waiting to see how long it's going to last. This engagement.
Surprisingly long. I mean, he doesn't have any workers anymore, but if he goes across the map right now, he could win. Maybe. Go. He sees it! Oh no, but all of his armies in his medevacs again.
Yep, that is unfortunate. I think he has a really good Viking count, and that's why. Oh, then he walks into photon cannons. Yeah, if he's going to lose this game, it's going to be because of the photon cannons and that he's lost half of his army that was in his medevacs. And he lost the Thor.
All of his armies.
Okay, that's it. Yep, that's game.
GG! Wow. Makinator taking the series 2-0, moving on to the winners match. And
well, I think we see from that game, you know, just how important it is to not accidentally load your army into medevacs.
Indeed. Well, that was fun. So, yeah, we're going to be doing more games. We have 2 more series of beginner matches. That's going to be Epic Beast versus Number, aka Jake versus Garrett. Super fun. And then we have Bryce versus Brandon. So this was Group A that we did today. We'll be doing Group B for the next video. So yeah, should be really good. The tournament was super fun, so we're not going to tell you how it goes, but those who played, you'll know. But yeah, that was awesome.